I've got a feeling, woohoo, that tonight's gonna be a good... Has the Amazon delivery arrived?
No, the show's about to start.
The show's about to start? How long?
4 minutes.
4 minutes?
Yeah.
I haven't got...
Do you want me to go and get your drink?
Yeah,
Okay,
4 minutes. I've not got a drink or anything. I need a drink.
You sort your check out.
LCTV starts in 3 minutes.
3 minutes. Jane. Jane. Where are you? 3 minutes.
LCTV starts in 2 minutes.
Where the blooming heck is Jane? Where is she? Only 2 minutes.
LCTV starts in 1 minute.
Has she gone to Asda for that drink or what? Jane! Jane, where are the notes for the show? Oh, God, we need the notes. Oh, I'll have to get them. Hello and welcome to Lee Charles TV at 3. We'll just wait for you all to join in. I know there's a few seconds delay before us getting here and you getting here, but we've already got Stephen Smart in. So hello, Stephen. I've already said hello
Stephen,
to
yes,
you.
prompt as ever.
Yeah, very prompt. I'd like to see you here nice and early. We've got lots to talk about today with you. There's lots going on, isn't there? The Premier League Going to start playing again behind closed doors in June. What's the date, Jane?
Oh gosh.
June the 17th, Jane.
June
I think
17th,
it came to me as you were looking at something came at me. Yeah, June the 17th. We've got an EFL vote as well, haven't we, coming up? They're voting. I know Blackpool have been in the Gazette moaning about, well, not moaning, but Ben Masford's been talking about the fact that they're really stuck and they can't go forward until they hear apparently the Championship have got to sort of ratify the League One. We'll talk about that later as well. But all we want to know at the moment is, can you see us? Can you hear us? Is everything loud and clear and all good?
Is there anybody there?
Is there anybody there as well? We've got John Stevens is here. Hello, John.
Hi, John.
So yes, we're just
And Ben's here, Cod's Vlogs.
Hi, Ben. Hi, Ben.
It's all go at your end, isn't it? You've been very busy with your podcast and on Radio Lancashire and everything.
Yeah, he has. Ben's been on Radio Lancashire. He's also got an amazing YouTube channel called Cod's Vlogs. He's a Fleetwood fan, and if you like football content, it's really good. Now, I watched his live stream last week. He's got a guest in as well, so he's really upskilling.
He's got players coming in on his podcast.
He's got players as well coming in, so he's well worth checking out. Give him a like and subscribe if you can. It all helps the YouTube channels. Hi, Paul Maynard.
Hi.
Ross and Andrea. Hello. So that's my cousin Andrea and husband Ross. Happy anniversary to both of you as well.
Oh,
they're in Cebu in the Philippines. So let me know what time it is over there, guys. Right now, I think it'll be about the same time as John. Won't it? About 11 o'clock, is it? Something like that with John Thrower, because he's in Thailand. Steam Smart says perfect. The sound's perfect. That's great. And hopefully we're all in sync and everything, because we have been getting a bit of a dropout, just on our broadband. I don't know whether you are. They seem to restricting the broadband at home at the moment. So we were struggling with computers last night. So hopefully it'll stay good.
Napper's mum's here. Hi, Ben's
Napper's mum's here. Yeah, we've just been talking about your wonderful son and his great channel. He's got football guests coming in and it's really good. He's doing really, really well. So, nice to see you.
Hi to James.
That's Jill.
Riffett. And Ryan's here.
Hi,
Ryan. We were worried about you.
Hi, the new Ryan.
You dropped off during our quiz on Tuesday night. We wondered where you got to. So it's nice to have you back.
I don't know if you gave up or we just never heard from you after that. But yes, we have a quiz night on a Tuesday. You can all come and join in. It's a bit of fun. It's a football quiz. It's very tough because Jane's a tough quiz master. Some of it's easy.
I think.
Tough what?
Quiz mistress?
Oh, quiz mistress. Yes, quiz mistress. Who have we got? James. Yeah, you said hello to James Rivat. Right. All right. Has anybody got anything good to tell us before we start telling you all about the things we've found out this week? Because Jane's been very busy researching all the football stuff for us, as usual.
I have. I've been busy in the garden. I've actually been sitting in the garden all morning and all afternoon, and I've managed to get myself sunburnt. So I don't know if you can see how red my arm is here, but I have got accidentally. I've been trying to move the chair into the shade, but obviously I've failed miserably. You can't always tell when you've got your sunglasses on, can you? When you're burning, you take them off like, oh blimey. Actually, that's quite red. So.
Yes, Jane unfortunately can't really sit out in the sun too much because she's so fair-skinned. But you have been out in the garden. I mean, it's been beautiful.
Yeah, I got really burnt actually. One year I went on holiday to Crete. I went to Malia in Crete, the party town that was in the In-Betweeners movie, and I was sitting under an umbrella actually by the pool. Thinking I was safe, but the umbrella had lots of minuscule little holes in it, so it actually burnt me through the umbrella, even though I was diligently staying under it. And my leg, I've still got, it looks like I've got freckles all over my leg now, but I actually got sort of third-degree burns on my leg. I had to go and have it treated, and it was horrible actually. But scarred for life now. But, it was very painful. I had to wear jeans to cover up. The next day we went down to Zeus's caves and had a lot of walking to do, and it was so hot, and I had to wear clothes to cover up because I couldn't get burns again, and it was just the most uncomfortable day of my life. But I learnt the benefit of drinking water that day.
I bet you did.
So I felt a lot better from drinking water, and that's what I'm drinking today.
Yes, we're drinking water with a little bit of lime in. We discovered that, haven't we, from some app that Jane uses. That if you just get water and just put a little bit of lime in it,
a little slice of lime, it tastes beautiful. Because the water tastes funny here. It tastes like I don't know if it's chlorine in it or something. It just tastes a little bit of bleach. So we put the slice of lime in it. It actually tastes lovely. It's really, really refreshing, really good for you, and it gets rid of your sweet craving from drinking pop. So
Ben's asking if we got through to the awards. Well, we got to keep that secret, haven't we? We're not allowed to say anything. So if you've got through, you'll also know you can't say anything yet. So we can't talk about that.
Tony's here from Australia.
Tony's here. It's midnight in Australia.
Oh,
Good day, good morning, good whatever, cobber. How is it out there, Tony, in Australia? Is it getting a little bit cooler now? It's coming into your winter time, although I always think your winter time is more like our summertime than winter time. But it's beautiful here at the moment, isn't it? The weather's amazing. It just every day you wake up, it's just sunshine in Blackpool. It's incredible. I've never known so many sunny days.
It is beautiful. Ryan says he's busy on a Tuesday night. Joins in when he can. And yes, Scottish football's a laugh again. Tell you soon.
Oh, we can't wait for more.
Yeah.
For more hell from Scotland. Tony, you've been away for 34 years. Blimey, that's a long time. Do you ever get back to England, Tony, or have you just been out in Australia all these years? My uncle Arthur lives out in Australia, used to live in a place called Alice Springs, which was in deepest, darkest Australia, and he went out there. His job actually was a football coach of a girls' Aborigine football team, and he was that for 30 odd years out there. He absolutely loved it. Yeah.
10 at night.
It's 10 at night in Cebu. So thank you very much for us. We're looking well. The sun's making us look good over here, and because we're in lockdown, we've got no food. We're down to the last few tins, so we're wasting away, slimmer and slimmer every day.
Although we have discovered some magnificent lollipops that I will show you. Actually, I've seen them in the supermarket. I had to buy them.
Yeah.
They've got lots of different flavours. These ones are dark chocolate and Nordic berry. So it's sort of like a feast. It's got the chocolate on the outside, and then it's actually got chocolate ice cream in the middle, but it's got like a raspberry ripple, like fruit flavour going through it. They're absolutely beautiful. They're really good. So I'll be getting some more of those when we go shopping later. So Nui.
Yeah.
Where are they from?
Mr. Mole has been busy in his garden, so he says. So he's saying here. So
Nordic blueberry sauce. Yes, busy moling.
Busy moling, yes. And Andrea and Ross are worried about the finances of the club. At the moment, we're not hearing anything about finances. They seem to be okay, really. I think Simon Sadler's got a bit of money, but they are bleating a little bit about the fact that they don't know what's going on, but they haven't been complaining too much about money, have they?
I think Ben Mansfield was saying this week that it's going to be expensive if they're expected to start playing again. So I would imagine that they're hoping for it not to continue. All the costs involved in not only all the testing but also in extending players' contracts, which we'll come on to later.
Stephen Smart, just going through the messages. Stephen Smart is telling Jane that mint and cucumber is really nice in water, so we shall try that. A bit of mint and cucumber. It does sound quite nice. So
cucumber sounds lovely and refreshing. Actually,
we'll give that a go. And Mazzini, I watch every week but never commented before. Keep up the good work. Well, thanks for commenting. Now it's really, feel free to comment. Honestly, if anybody's watching and you don't comment, then please do, because obviously the comments keep it going and keep us talking about stuff. We love to know.
We do like it, the interactivity.
Yeah, we like it when you talk to us, because then we've got something to talk about then, and not just reading from a book or something.
Oh, Ryan's got a big day this time next week. What's happening, Ryan? I'm intrigued. Might be here next week, might not be.
Oh, that is exciting.
Tell us.
Millwall Smithy is here.
Hi.
One day we'll get to play Millwall. Come and see you, Smithy. Honestly, we'll come down to London for sure and play Millwall. But we just got to get promoted. It took us 30 years to get out of these lower divisions last time. So I'm hoping history doesn't repeat. We can actually get out of League One and get into the Championship, because I don't think I can take another 30 years of lower league football.
Found a few Millwall tickets when I was scrapbooking my old match tickets. I've been to the old and the new dens. Got one particular memory of Millwall when we went down there for a night game, and there was an oil spill on the motorway, and the game didn't kick off till 8:30.
Ooh.
I've been drinking since 11 o'clock in the morning.
Ooh.
And all the way down on the coach, and then the game was late, so we were drinking in the ground as well. So I was drinking from 11 till.
Do you actually remember?
Till 8:30.
Do you remember it at all?
I don't remember the game, but I remember being very ill on the coach on the way home. That's why. That's a memory that came back from my ticket collection.
What year was that, Jane? Can you remember what year it was?
It was probably about 96, something like that.
Do you remember that one, Smithy? Do you remember that game? Mr. Moley, thanks for rescuing me from homeschooling my 7-year-old daughter. Hate English comprehension, then detest it now. Yes, open the damn skills. I must admit, I was helping Sebi once with algebra, and oh my gosh, like X minus Y in brackets equals, and just honestly, I had to help him with it, and it took us ages. It took me ages to work it all out.
In maths, I used to always copy off the girl next to me in class. I got a B, so it didn't do me too badly.
I got a C in maths, but. Here we are. Brightest state of mind here. Hi, Rob. Good afternoon, Lee and Jane. This is my favourite couple of hours of the week. Well, thank you very much. That's great. If we can be anybody's favourite couple of hours of the week, that's really good. And really, honestly, I'm really pleased that people enjoy this. John Throwaway's here. Evening all. So we've got John from Thailand, and we've got Andrea and Ross from the Philippines. We've got someone from Australia. We've got Australia in. Anybody further away than those? Is anybody further away than Australia, Thailand, and the Philippines in on our stream? It's interesting to see where you all come from. Scotland, we're well represented. London, obviously, with Millwall Smithy.
Internet's a wonderful thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's amazing actually how we can talk to you live in sort of real time now.
It's great, really. I mean, there's many good things that have come out of this lockdown. I mean, I've just been chatting with John was in there as well with the Basel Blackpool Association of Supporters in London. We have a Zoom call at 2:30 every Saturday, and I'm seeing them more frequently than I did when we went to football. I'm actually getting to know a couple of lads that I didn't really know. I didn't really speak to when I saw them at matches because they didn't go very often, and it's actually nice to build up those relationships with other Blackpool fans now, and with you guys on here as well. When we're making so many new friends on here, it's lovely. It really is.
Just quickly, Ryan saying, even though we're apart, me and the missus are 1 year together this time next week, so I want to spend as much as I can with her. That'll be great.
Well,
it must be really hard at the moment when you're socially isolating and you can't meet. But I think next week they're changing the rules a bit, aren't you? You can meet up to 8 people or something at one time.
It's different in Scotland, though, isn't it?
Is it?
Different rules in Scotland. I know that they can play golf now.
Ben says it helps him get through the week. Well, Ben, you're a bit like us with your YouTube channel. You're probably, busy with it, and you're doing live streams and making videos. And we've been the same. Jane's been, blogging, and she's getting into writing now, and she's writing a book, and I've been doing videos. And I just really haven't had time to be busy, and the YouTube really does keep you busy. So I understand that Ben, I really do.
I listened to a really interesting podcast this morning. I've retweeted it. If you want to go on my Twitter at Blackpool Jane, you'll find it on there. And it's about a football club called Hampton and Richmond Borough, who actually one of my Blackpool friends works there. It starts off a bit slowly, but it's definitely worth listening to because it's about what's happened to the club and what this means to them and the people. But one particular thing, they got one of the fans on there, and he was saying that the football really means so much to him and the people. He says he goes into when he turns up at the ground and goes into the clubhouse, everyone's really pleased to see him. He gets a really warm welcome, and he said he never had that at home, and it really is like a family to him. And that resonated with me. And then also he went on to say about how he was feeling suicidal, and he was standing on the hill and he was looking down at the ground, and he thought, well, it's Wednesday today. If I can just get through another couple of days, then I'll go on this away day and I'll be stood on the terrace with all my friends. And if I can just get through the next couple of days, and just that football can be that, and the people at the football can be that. It's so important.
Yeah.
So for us to be able to create an environment where people can get together and to have all these online things, that we have, like the Basel Zoom chat that we've just had, it's so important to keep that going.
Definitely, yeah, because people can get really depressed. Just finding out where the far reaches of our viewers are. Ben's in St Anne's, so that's Mazzini, you're in London. Oh, that's far enough away. It's quite away. Ryan reckons Scotland feels further away than everybody else, to be honest. So, John's gone for a beer. Says, hang on. We can't hang on for you, John. You just go and get a beer. You'll be back. Mr. Moley is from further away. He's near Burnley, so he's about 35 years ago. I love that. Ah, yes,
Oh,
about
brilliant.
35 years ago, Mr. Moley. Alan thinks you're right, actually. I think it was 96 when Blackpool came down to the Den, Tuesday night game. Yeah.
Yeah, very, very drunk.
Oh, it's all right in Scotland. Yeah, it's changed as of yesterday. You can now meet up to 8 people outside, but our families are
Oh,
shielding.
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, dear.
well, I think, ours are as well. You've got to be careful, but I don't know. It's just incredible. Times are incredible. You can't really believe that this is going on. Everything's shut and everything's closed. I mean, we've been doing I've been doing the promenade videos and they've been amazing. I mean, the amount of views I've had on it, but so many people are missing Blackpool and had booked holidays and were coming and they're worrying whether it's going to be open in September, October, some even November. We don't know.
David asks, "Am I writing fiction?" Well, yeah, I was writing a fiction project, but I've kind of changed. I've moved on to something else, onto a more football focused project now. So watch this space. But I'm preparing that at the moment. So hopefully that won't.
Red Room, hello,
Hi,
Red Room. Tony Alsop. In my younger days, we used to frequent the Oxford, the Boar's Head, the Number 3, the Bellevue, the Mere Park, and my parents had the May Shop opposite the Welcome. Are all these pubs still open? Well, the Oxford's gone. The Oxford is now a Aldi, so that's gone. The Oxford pub's gone. The Boar's Head's still there. The Number 3 is, well, they called it something else, and then it's gone back to being called the Number 3, and that's owned by the people that own Markelly's. So it's kind of like a designer sort of bar.
Oh, is it? I didn't know.
Yeah. The Number 3 is the Bellevue is still going strong, still a band venue. The Mere Park is still popular, still there, yeah. And the shop opposite the Welcome it's not a Mace anymore, but it's a Premier shop, but yeah, it's still there opposite the Welcome. And the Welcome is now the Cherry Tree pub. They've turned it, they've called it the Cherry Tree, which is unusual because there used to be a Cherry Tree where my dad used to play football years and years ago. I used to play for the Cherry Tree, and they were round where St George's School is, round there. So there was a pub called the Cherry Tree, which they knocked down.
You just reminded me, actually, there, the Bellevue. I used to go and drink in the Bellevue before Tuesday night games sometimes and have a bite to eat in there. That's going back when I used to live in Blackpool last time, so we're going back over 20 years.
Yeah,
there,
it's still a pub.
Bellevue.
It's always been a pub. It's always been like a band pub, hasn't it, the Bellevue? A lot of live acts on there. Jessica Donnelly, hello.
Hi, Jessica.
Hiya.
I actually used to work just by the Number 3 as well, so on Church Street.
Ryan doesn't want to keep going on about his relationship, but you carry on, Ryan. Just carry on
it's
going. That's great. We want to know all about it. So you're not seeing it's difficult time and talking about podcasts. Did you give football daft a go? No, we haven't had a look at football daft.
No, we haven't.
We'll have to do. We'll have to check that one out.
Yeah, and we were after an answer to you posed a question last week, didn't you, about the non-EU players who'd scored the most goals in the Premier League.
Oh yeah.
Do you have an answer?
Do you have an answer for us? Yeah, you've kept us in suspenders for a week.
Yeah, no, it must be very difficult for you, Ryan. It's
it's hard. Alexander's the same. My eldest, his girlfriend, they're having to obviously distance, and they've been on bike rides and that sort of thing, but she can't come round, and it's just been awful, hasn't it? Alan Smith, one of our under 23s passed away this week. So sad, sudden death. Was that the lad, the black player that was it Tilt was tweeted
about?
Morecambe
or Accrington?
I don't know. I read something about somebody. He was only about 20 odd. Yeah. It was on Twitter. It was very sad. Very sad. Yeah. Do we know what he actually passed away with? It wasn't coronavirus, was it?
It was something sudden at home. I don't think it wasn't coronavirus. No. Was that the same guy, Alan?
The Reds. Hi, the Reds. They're asking, could there be a possibility a couple of League One football teams could be financed?
Definitely.
I think there's a definite possibility.
Lots are going to be.
Bolton must. Bolton. I can't imagine the trouble they're in because they're already in tons of trouble. But there's quite a few, isn't there, on the brink. The Accrington Stanley owner has been complaining that he's in quite a bit of difficulty, and he's a really well-run club, but even what are they saying?
He says they might have to go into administration.
They might have to go into administration. They're one of the best-run clubs in the. They don't spend any. They're really, really tight with the money, and they're really, really careful. And yet he's in trouble. So I can imagine lots of clubs are in trouble. And when you look at the Championship as well, flipping heck, It's incredible the amount of debt. Obviously we don't like Preston, and it's great that they're in debt, but it's still a lot of debt that they're in. It's an incredible mess, and there's worse, isn't there? West Brom, and God, there's so many overspending, and it's sad. It's really quite sad.
Rob says he's seen loads of decent local bands in the Bellevue.
Yeah, you do. Lots of band nights.
Recall. Yeah.
My mate Nigel, he used to be in a band called Touch the Pearl, and then they split up, and the lead singer Kev kept on Touch the Pearl, but he formed his own band. We used to go and watch them. I can't think of what the name is now. It's just gone out of my head. Yes, Mr. Molly, St George's, your old school is on Cherry Tree Road, hence the name of the welcome, which was never particularly welcoming.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's not always really, is it? It has a bit of a gypsy element in there, and
Ryan's got answers to his question.
Oh, you do have answers to the question. That's okay. Rob on Bright State of Mind Healthby is saying that one of them must be Drogba. Yeah, I think one of them definitely. We had Drogba, didn't we? Solskjaer. Who was the other ones that we said last week? I can't. Oh yeah, that's him. Yeah, Millwall, Crew, and Morecambe, Motherwell as well. Not Corona ready, but so sad. It's absolutely. It really is, all that life to live for in a football as well, and be, obviously fit as a fiddle, and to die at 23, it's incredible. It's not from some sort of accident, but just to die. Sad.
Mr. Miller says Bolton will just take a point sit and start again. They have form. I think. I don't know. I think.
Well, there's only so many times.
I think there were a lot in debt as it was, so I'm not sure they'll be able to survive this, to be honest.
I actually posted a video about it a while ago because I was reading on the forums, and I posted what people were saying. But from what I could make out, they run up something like £150 million of debt or something like that, and then the guy who ran all that debt up died. I can't remember the name of the owner then, but he died, and it was all paid off. And then some other guy came in and run another 150 million in debt, which they had to have written off. And then they were up to about another 150 million again, and then some other owners have come in and so kind of cleared that. And then straight away they went buying. I don't know how many players did they buy?
Bought a lot, didn't they?
Yeah, they bought about 12 new players, which, to be honest with you, was never going to be enough anyway. You need like 25 players, but they spent about 40 million on them straight away. I thought it's just insane.
And it's sod's law, actually. Just the interim board last summer at Blackpool signed all these players up, didn't they, on 2-3 year contracts? And God, I mean, I thought that was a mistake at the time, but looking now.
Oh, Tony went to St George's. Well, both my boys are going to St George's, or Alexander went to St George's, and he's doing well now. He's trained to be a marine engineer, and Sebby's still there at St George's, but of course they're not at school at the moment. Kasubian, was that asking Kasubian? No, I don't. It's not Kasubian. Mr. Moley, Aguero, and Solskjaer. Possibly not. Tony says, Mr. Moley, the mole is not as young as he looks. First pool game, 1975.
So moving on to my notes on the EFL, as we were on that subject. Ben Mansford at Blackpool has come out this week and said he's given his feedback to the club have given their feedback to the EFL, but they hadn't been asked to vote. But the vote is on the 8th of June, so that's next Monday. A week on Monday, so they're going to have the votes as to whether to go with the points per game or just finish the league as it is.
It's a tricky one,
with the playoffs.
Yeah,
the playoffs will happen. I'll move on to that in a minute. But Blackpool wants a quick decision because obviously they want to know what's happening. They said returning would be expensive. Tranmere and Peterborough are threatening legal action if the season doesn't continue. Which isn't particularly helpful or in the spirit of the game.
No, it's not really.
The Championship is looking like that's going to return around the 20th of June, with contact training starting on Monday. Playoffs now. The Championship playoffs. So assuming the Championship is continuing, they're looking to have the playoffs late July with the final in early August. with short-term contract extensions for the players until the end of the season, which is something they've agreed in the Premier League as well. The players and the club just mutually agreed to extend the contracts till the end of the season. But League One and League Two, they would be looking to play the playoffs if the season doesn't go ahead. They would be looking to play the playoffs as soon as possible. As soon as practically possible, with the finals still being at Wembley, is what they're talking about. So that's that's a bit of an odd one. But so we'll have to see what happens after the vote a week on Monday. But it doesn't seem to be particularly quick, does it? I don't know why they're not voting on it this week. But
we've got this question again. Rob Baker asked the eternal question that comes on every week. What's our opinion on Tom and Baker? And also, what about Sarah? So we're going to answer it. I'm going to answer it definitively this week. I think it was far better when it was Tom and Jerry, because I don't think Tom and Baker is quite the same cartoon as it was as Tom and Jerry. And Sarah,
I'm not a fan of Sarah. I don't trust Sarah, to be honest.
Well, it was never my favourite song. It's a Fleetwood Mac thing, isn't it, boys? No, it's not for me. Anyway, that answers your question. It was better as Tom and Jerry, and Sarah, it's not the greatest song. Went to Bolton a couple of seasons ago, says Alan Smith, got charged £6 for a pint. £6 for a pint?
What?
My God.
In Bolton?
In Bolton?
In the north?
Where did you go, Alan? Are you sure you weren't dreaming that? That's London prices. And the train home was cancelled. Miserable geese as well. Yeah, that does sound pretty miserable. £6 a pint. I don't know. Where did you go for that? It's relatively cheap up north, the beer.
Yeah, should have gone to drink in Manchester.
Was that in the ground, maybe? Were they charging extra?
Get a pint of dark mild in Manchester for about £2 or £3, I think. So. Gosh, that's outrageous.
Right, Ryan's given us our answer. Aguero, Adebayor, Viduka.
I nearly said Viduka.
You should have done.
Yeah.
You should have, didn't you?
I don't know.
Mane, Suarez, Dwight York, and Mo Salah. Yeah. So no.
Mo Salah, of course.
So Drogba's not in there.
Wow.
That's amazing. So, I can't quite get over that, to be honest. Drogba. Tevez, right. Tevez, people. Oh, Tevez. Is that Tevez was in it, or Tevez is not in it, Ryan? I can't quite. Dwight York. Tevez. Right.
Going back to the playoffs, Colchester United, who would potentially be in the playoffs, they are offering fans a cutout of their face to go on the seats for the playoff matches.
A cutout of their face?
Yeah, which would also be there for any behind closed doors games for next season as well. And the cost for your face to be in the crowd at Colchester United for the playoffs, £25.
Is that for the season ticket sort of thing, or is it just the one game?
It's for the playoffs, but it's also for any behind closed doors matches for next season as well. So it does seem quite expensive, really, but I guess it's giving money to the club, so they need it, don't they? So we shouldn't begrudge it, really.
Oh wow, Mr. Moley's been binge watching Hanna-Barbera cartoons like Hong Kong Phooey,
number one super guy,
Wacky Races.
Hail!
I always wanted Dick Dastardly to win the Wacky Races. I remember actually there's one episode with Dick Dastardly where he's actually winning fair and square. He just plays it completely fair and square, and he's winning right to the finish line, and then his car collapses and everybody just goes past him and he comes last. And I actually cried. I was about I cried my eyes out. I wanted him to win so much. Top Cat. TC.
Captain Caveman.
Oh, yeah. God. Hanna-Barbera cartoons were great, wasn't they?
Wow,
I mean, Top Cat was Phil Silvers, wasn't it? And all the people from Bilko. Yeah. All the characters in Top Cat are all the characters in Bilko. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you watch Bilko, they're all the same.
Of course, you learn something in these.
Yeah, they're all the same. They're all the same voices in Top Cat. Yeah, Benny.
I can picture Benny now, actually. Yeah.
Benny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, brilliant.
Leah Riley, only just logged on. Catch up in conversation time here.
Where have you found those cartoons, Mr. Moley?
Yes, we need to start watching Hanna-Barbera cartoons. There was loads of them on there. Catch the Pigeon. That was one, wasn't it? Was the Flintstones Hanna-Barbera? Or was they something else? I can't remember. Flintstones.
Smithy says White's Hotel at the Reebok was kind of a fancy party.
Ah, yeah. Yes, the White's Hotel.
In the Gregory
It's
Peckham
quite
Road.
amazing. I remember, seeing Bolton in the 90s, and I actually spent a night at the White's Hotel. It was beautiful. They had like a walkway over a lot of trees below, and it was beautiful. And you just thought Bolton had so much money then. It just seemed like they were just dripping in money, and it's amazing how they've got into such a mess. You can't believe, you can't believe how it all went wrong for Bolton, how it's all gone so bad for Bolton.
Dick Dastardly wins one race, but is then disqualified for having an extendable nose cone on his car. I too was gutted.
No, it's like I always wanted. You always wanted like Roadrunner to get caught, didn't you? You always wanted Wile E. Coyote to get him somehow. You didn't.
I loved Roadrunner. That was one of my favourites.
God, honestly,
Beep, beep.
yeah, I used to, I used to like the Pink Panther as well.
Oh, I love the Pink Panther. Yeah, I've been listening to a lot of Henry Mancini actually while I've been working from home. Pink Panther tunes. Tony's been watching Homeland. Lots of binge watching. We haven't watched that. We started watching something. What was it called? Home something else that we're watching with Julia Roberts.
Oh,
what was that we started watching?
Home.
I can't remember what that's called. It's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, no, I can't remember either.
That was quite good.
It's quite interesting, yeah.
Is Homeland worth a watch?
You sound more like Yogi Bear there, Lee. But Yogi Bear was, what's up, boo boo? He said it was boo boo, but not Benny. But they're all kind of the same.
So on to the Premier League, which
I'm not the greatest impersonator in the world, obviously. Can't do a Scottish accent.
Premier League is set to resume on the 17th of June, subject to safety requirements being met.
So what do we all think about that? The Premier League, 17th of June, behind closed doors, just like the Bundesliga. Is it going to be garbage, just like the Bundesliga?
Going to be 4 games shown live on the BBC, which is the first time that top flight match has been shown on the BBC since 87-88.
How's that happened then?
Before I got into football.
Why have the BBC bought into something that's going to be utterly garbage?
I think they're just trying to get people back into football, aren't they? Because I think the danger is that people just aren't interested in football.
Homecoming, that's it.
Homecoming, that's it, yeah. There's going to be 25 matches on Sky's free-to-air Pick channel as well. So
Thanks, Red Room.
So that will be 29 matches that people can view for free, as well as some paid on Sky, some on BT and some on Amazon Prime, which we've got. So actually we would be able to watch some of that. But
let's watch the BBC.
We'll be able to watch BBC, Amazon Prime, and the free ones on Sky. I don't know if you haven't got Sky, whether you can watch the free ones on Sky, how that would work. But yeah, we were talking about it the other day. I think you were saying you wouldn't watch them on principle.
No. Well, no, we are. We're going to put ourselves through it, what we can, to so we can have an opinion on this. But from what I've seen, from the YouTube highlights of the Bundesliga, I can honestly say it's rubbish. It's just not football without fans. And the day that the bigwigs in football realise that football's all about us, it's all about the fans, and without the fans, and football's, for most people, I think we've discussed it already, it's about going to the game. For most of us, it's about going to the game. It's about meeting your mates. It's about going down the pub. It's about the banter at the ground. It's about having a go at the away fans. It's the joy of goals, being there, jumping up with thousands of other people.
The emotion of being there.
Yeah, it's so much more emotional. And you go and you go and you go, even though half the time it's garbage when you go and it's not the best thing. You still go because you love football, but to just watch some players running around in an empty stadium with just no atmosphere, to me. But I'm going to watch it.
Well, Sky Sports.
Yeah,
I mean, Sky Sports.
no
have got
fans not worth watching. It's
their work cut out, but they're looking into some innovative new features and updates to give fans an even more immersive experience and share the moments live with family and friends on virtual platforms. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with. Premier League clubs have unanimously agreed to resume contact training. There have been 12 positive coronavirus tests in total, including another 4 this week. But they're saying that's good because it's only 0.5% of tests have come back positive, but it's still 12 people.
Yeah.
Eddie Howe, the Bournemouth manager, has said that his players feel vulnerable after their keeper, Aaron Ramsdale, has tested positive. It just kind of brings it home and makes it real to them, I suppose. Yeah. But it's interesting with this track and trace thing. So if the Bournemouth goalkeeper has tested positive, then does everybody who he's been in contact with have to self-isolate now for 14 days? How's that going to affect clubs if the players that they've trained with have to self-isolate, and who they played against will have to self-isolate? It just doesn't seem to make a great deal of sense to me, but I'm sure they know what they're doing. Players obviously aren't going to be match fit coming back that quickly. Brendan Rodgers, the Leicester manager, he's come out and said he had coronavirus in March.
Wow.
He said it was really bad. He said it reminded him of when he climbed Kilimanjaro, in that he couldn't walk very far and he couldn't breathe. And
I just really don't want this. Honestly, it's something you really do not want, and the possibility of dying from it, you really don't want it. But you don't know. They say people have died of underlying health problems. You probably didn't know you had it until you got coronavirus. That's the worrying part about it.
Just going across to Spain, La Liga is set to resume on the 11th of June, which is the middle of next week.
Yeah, it's not too far away, is it?
And they've already announced that next season is going to start on the 12th of September. They are looking into testing some audio-visual things to try and make the fan experience a bit better to watch it on telly. And they're giving the viewers the option of watching the game with the ordinary sound of not really very much in the ground, or a crowd simulation if they would prefer to watch it with that.
Right, okay, we've got Alan Smith of Millwall Smithy wants West Ham to go down. Joke of a club living in the past. Well, we don't like them either because they should never beat us at Wembley, and they were horrible.
They're all in our end as well.
Yeah, they were horrible. They were really horrible fans, and honestly, every time we've been to Wembley, it was like a joy going to Wembley. It was a celebration, a carnival, a party. Blackpool went in fancy dress, and we went against West Ham, and it was horrible. It was not a party atmosphere. It was nothing like we've been to before, and they were quite nasty, and they didn't deserve to win. So we don't like West Ham. Ryan's going on about Scottish football again, not being a bit of a joke. Yeah. Can't see the point in stopping the season in Scotland, then starting it again in August.
Yeah, it's going to start on the 1st of August.
Well, hopefully. What is that, starting with everybody going back, or is it just starting behind closed doors, Ryan? Because surely if they start with fans going back, it's going to be, I don't know, it's a bit dangerous. Dennis, hi Dennis, says Aussie Rugby League are going to piping crowd noise. Similarly, PNE could pipe in canned laughter for their return. Yes. I mean, piping in crowd noise, is that really it? Empty stands and everything, there's noise and the players running to nobody there. The fact that they pipe in crowd noise is still not going to make it any good, I don't think.
Tony says you watched the whole Cardiff final last week. What a fantastic team we had. Yeah. Did you two go to the game? Yes, we did.
We did. Yes, we did. I went
separately because we didn't know each other then.
Yeah, I went with my dad. It was obviously, we all know my dad lived to see the Premier League season, and he died shortly after the Premier League season. So it was it's a wonderful memory for me. And funnily enough, on the day of the playoffs, my dad wasn't very well. He didn't say anything, but that was the start of his stomach cancer was there. That was when he started feeling bad. He didn't say anything. He got through the game, but it was and it was they were just a fabulous team, and there was just something, we were going to win. Ollie was going to win, wasn't he? I've watched his video actually on how he does a video, if you catch it on YouTube, where he tells you all how he'd sussed Cardiff out and how he'd worked out how he had a spare man and how they played the game and how he knew he could beat Cardiff because of there was like one of the midfielders was a bit lazy and he knew they just wouldn't be able to cope with us, and they didn't. He proved it fantastic, and it was a bit of a long second half, I must admit. It seemed like it went on for 3 years. We're just hanging on that one goal, but really, if you think back to like the last 5 or 6 minutes, they never got a shot. Cardiff did. We really closed the game out very, very well, and Ben Burgess should have scored. Really, shouldn't have made it 4. Mr. Sitter, but
brighter state of mind hypnotherapy. Rob is saying, I'm going to go against the grain here. Totally agree. It won't be as good, but if it gets the season over and done with, I'm all for it. I'd rather have it completed as soulless as it would be.
Yes, well, there is that school of thought that it needs to be completed, but then as James has been mentioning, is what Tranmere Rovers are thinking of taking legal action if the season's not finished. So it probably has to get finished, doesn't it? But no, I don't know. I don't know. half of me thinks it should just be scrubbed and start again. But I know it means a lot. Certainly we're lucky in a way that Blackpool are not going to get promoted and we're not going to get relegated. So it doesn't matter to us if the season's cancelled on where we stand. But for some clubs, it's if you think of Barrow, even just Barrow, they're going to get into the Football League and they can't. You've got West Brom and Leeds, they're desperate to get in the Premier League, aren't they? So they want to get up.
I think Barrow will get
there's
in the
teams
league,
want to
don't
stay
they?
in the Premier League, don't want to go down. So do they want it cancelled so they don't get relegated? Honestly, it's a big problem.
Ryan's saying, what was the point in cancelling the Scottish season if they're going to start again in August anyway? Couldn't we have waited a few weeks and continue the season then? But yeah, I guess we've got to get back on track though, haven't we? So what would happen? How would you fit it in and get it all equalised going forward, really? So I kind of get it.
You can't use the word track anymore, Jane, after the abject failure of the test on the Isle of Wight. Do you know about... Do we know about this? Where have you got this from, Mr. Moley? West Ham fans in our areas in the playoff final was always going to cause issue, and it did, big style. Yes, it did. It really did. It really.
We don't like West Ham.
No, we don't like West Ham, and it had to be Big Sam as well, which annoyed me as well because they didn't deserve to win, West Ham, and I thought they got gifted 2 goals by the referee as well because there was two fouls that he just didn't blow up for both of the goals. Who remembers the Anglo-Italian Cup? Well,
I don't remember it. Well, I remember they brought it back a few years ago, didn't they? Between
I've watched the videos.
Championship and Italian Serie B teams. They did bring it back, but it was when we were in League One, League Two at the time, so we didn't qualify to play for it this time round. But I love that.
It certainly was an amazing achievement by Blackpool Football Club, but of course they got relegated out of the Premier League, out of the League One at the same time, so it probably got them relegated. But it was an amazing achievement. Quite often when teams have a good run in Europe, it affects the domestic game, and obviously it did. But it was a great win.
Ryan's asking what happens when you start letting fans back in. How are you going to social distance 50,000 fans at Ibrox, for example? I think, maybe they will start with just letting, reduced attendances in.
They may have to do like a seat and a space and a seat and a space, like on the bus. When you get on a bus, you can't. It's like sitting one on one seat, and then there's a gap, and they might have to do something like that. But it all depends on whether we find some sort of a cure, and we could all be inoculated against it, and it'll be over, won't it? But if it's like it is now, you wouldn't fancy it, would you? I wouldn't be going to a game with 50,000 people there. You think
people were going to football before all this happened when it was out there. So I think we just got to wait for the figures to go below where they were, to start with, and then.
What videos will we be releasing when lockdown is complete? Well, obviously we're going to be doing football videos again. We're going to be obviously doing the football vlog, which we actually love to do if the football comes back. I'll probably. The videos that we've done on the walks down Blackpool Promenade in particular are they're our biggest videos. I mean, nearly 10,000 on the first 2, 10,000 views, which has beaten the Homecoming Day, which has only got 7,000 views. So we may well do some videos on what a difference it is now in Blackpool when lockdown's over. We may do some Pleasure Beach stuff. There's a chance of me doing some stuff about shows that are on in Blackpool at the Grand, and there's a link in with the Tower as well that we may well be doing. So we'll have to see what comes on. But there's lots of things, and there's always stuff going on in Blackpool, even if there's no football. There's just stuff all the time. There's some amazing things that go on. The lights switch on, and the free concerts, and there's dance festivals, and there's the shows all the time. Viva has a show, the Piers have a show, Grand Theatre has a show, Winter Gardens has a show, and there's some sort of dance thing going on almost every week at the Winter Gardens.
And we're going to the drive-in in a few weeks.
Yes, we are.
There's a drive-in, pop-up drive-in cinema that's opening on a farm in Thornton.
Yeah.
And they've got a few films going on there where you just drive up in your car, and they've got a big stage with the films being shown. So we're booked in to go to a couple of those. So we'll be showing you what that's like.
Yeah, stranded at the drive-in, branded a fool.
But when we're back at the football, I mean, there's so many things. Obviously, we'll be doing the vlogging and just sort of discussing what it's like being back at the football. But also, we'll have events to go to as well. When we're allowed back outs. Awards and tournaments and So we should now be at the
Conifers.
The
we should
Football
be in
World
Macedonia, shouldn't we? No?
Cup. Yeah, the alternative Football World Cup in North Macedonia. We should be there now.
We had press
Tell me the
accreditation
story
for
all about
that. We had press accreditation, and we were going out there to film all the conifers for you, and I was really looking forward to it. It's going to be so colourful, all these little nations, and
but hopefully next year we'll be able to do that.
yeah, hopefully we'll bring it next year. But honestly, we're a bit disappointed because it would have been fantastic.
And also this summer there would have been the awards. The Northern Premier League and the Northwest Counties League have their end of season AGMs and presentation dinners in Blackpool on the same night in June. Obviously that's not going to be happening this year now, but it's basically non-league comes to Blackpool every summer, so we could have done something on that as well, and that's not happening. So when these things start happening again,
we were also invited to do something for the dinner that was coming up at Bloomfield Road for the anniversary of the promotion to League One with the Fred Pickering hat trick and all. That was a celebration of that, and we were invited to come and do some filming and put a film together as well for that as well, which I'm disappointed about. I was looking forward to that.
But we'll always find stories, we'll always find content to bring to you, so it will get better and better, but we're a little bit restricted at the moment, but we're still finding things.
If anyone's looking for classic goals to watch, look up Davy Cooper Dryborough Cup final against Celtic. We'll have to check that out. Make a note of that, Jane.
Yeah.
We shall have a look at that. It's a classic goal from Ryan.
Depends
Never
on-
heard of Davy Cooper Dryborough. Oh, Davy Cooper from Dryborough, is it? From Dryborough. Alan Smith, what's your opinion, Lee and Jane, on the non-league scene? Many clubs facing real uncertainty. Near us, Bromley are in real financial adversity. Yeah, well, Jane's been talking about this quite a lot, actually. You've probably got more news on that than me, because Jane follows quite a lot of the non-league, and yeah, there's a lot really struggling because they've got no receipts from bars or...
No, there's no money coming in through. Well, the gate receipts don't cover everything anyway. But there's nothing coming in through the social clubs are so important, and the local lotteries and raffles and the bingo nights and things, and it's just it must be so hard. I mean, I guess the advantage in a way that non-league clubs have is that they're run by volunteers, so at least they don't have, and the players aren't on contracts in a lot of cases, especially the lower down you go. So on that side of things, that's a positive, but they've still got the utility bills to pay. They're still, they're going to have to be watering the pitches. This weather's just, you just got to keep the pitch watered during this. And then the water bills, it's must be really, really, really hard. There's going to be a lot of clubs go.
You do feel that way.
I was reading about a lad who plays for Wrexham, who are in the National League now, of course. Defender Sean Pearson, he's been delivering pizzas. He's gone out and got himself another job. Oh. He's been furloughed. He's delivering pizzas for Fat Boar restaurants. He's saying most of his teammates are out looking for temporary work at the moment. And he's suggesting that the out of contract players just look for jobs, even if it's just on a temporary basis.
Yeah, just to get them through.
Who knows when football's going to be coming back? So
it's a big wake-up call, isn't it?
It is.
For like lots of footballers. Mr. Moore saying we weren't going to be unlocked until there was a tracking app in place. Now the scheme is if you get symptoms, you'll be called, and we'll have to try to remember your recent contacts. Do we have to download this app, or is it just automatically on our phones or something? Is this Big Brother really taking over our phones? I kind of heard something about that, but I don't know if you've got to download it. Leah Riley, if you follow a club and they're safe, then fans are okay with ending the season now, but must be so much harder for relegation or possible promotion teams.
I mean, you feel sorry for Tranmere a little bit because they were starting to come good, weren't they? But I mean, really, you've got to look at the bigger picture here, and I know they're a business and I know it's important to them, but
there's lives, isn't there?
Yeah,
people are actually dying, and and the problem, the good thing is there's not as many dying as would have been dying if it had just carried on. If it had just carried on with all these events going on, there'd be, I don't know what the numbers would be now. I mean, we've got people dying and we're still in lockdown, aren't we? Nobody's going
that
anywhere.
Liverpool game, who was it? They played a Spanish club, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
In Europe, and they're saying that seems to be linked to 41 deaths from coronavirus just from that one match being played. So
Nick Muller saying he would just wear a mask.
Yeah, I think there might be a lot of that.
Yeah.
I know, is it Portsmouth? They're already selling masks.
There's the guarantees on these masks. So, you read like conflicting things about the mask, do you? Some say they don't make any difference whatsoever because you still breathe the air. It comes round the air. You're not. You need like a paint spray mask, would you, with like an oxygen tank on it, and then you'd be absolutely fine. You just breathe in oxygen all the time.
It's just an extra layer of protection, isn't it? Oh, Ryan says he thinks these weekly live streams should continue, if not Saturday, another day. Well, watch this space.
Well, yes, absolutely. Watch this space when things are back. We have ideas, but of course, the quiz may well, obviously, probably will continue on a Tuesday night. But I've already said, sometimes that can clash with midweek games. So, but we will try and certainly do these.
Yeah, maybe on a Sunday.
Monday at school. That's it. Yeah, that's it. From Strand at the
Monkey Clements, do
we support Blackpool? Yes, we do.
Hence tangerine dress.
We do. We're all about Blackpool. Who do you support, Monkey Clements? Which is your team? But yeah, we support Blackpool, and unbelievably, we've been 5 years in not a penny more in a sort of protest against the Oyston family to get them out. Blackpool fans haven't been going to matches for 5 years. We finally get back to our football, and
it's taken away from us.
And it's taken away from us again.
Now, can I just say it's half time? I've got a pie for you.
Oh, we have a halftime pie. This is a new feature.
I just thought I'd bring food in because we like talking about food, don't we? And it's kind of our lives at the moment, food, isn't it? I found this when we went shopping 2 weeks ago because we didn't go last week. This is a Fray Bentos vegetable balti pie, and it was £1. I like my Fray Bentos pies when they're £1, but I've never seen a balti Fray Bentos pie before. So this is very exciting. It's not really the weather for it. It looks like it's got sprouts in it, actually. I don't know what it has in it.
So these are top dietary tips. We've had ice cream bars and now balti pies. But how many calories in that?
Tomato, carrot, peas, onions, potato, red pepper.
That's probably quite healthy, that one, isn't it, for a pie?
Well, I don't know. It's got all sorts of other things in it. It's got lots of nice flavour. Oh, it sounds lovely, actually. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That sounds really good.
Next week, tune in for Cooking with Jane, how to cook a pie. Just tell you all about it.
I don't know. I don't really look at calories. It's recommended a tin opener. Remove lid using a robust can opener. We highly recommend both the Brabantia Essential line and OXO Good Grips openers. Now, interestingly, yes, I have a very good pair of OXO scissors. And I'm sure I had an OXO tin opener as well. It's good. They do good kitchen utensils, OXO. You wouldn't think so, would you? But
Ryan Dunbar has answered our conundrum with a Davy Cooper goal. It was actually in something called the Dryborough Cup. Dryborough Cup final. The Dryborough Cup was a sort of pre-season friendly tournament in the 70s and 80s. Wow, well, we didn't know that, Ryan. We learn stuff about Scottish football every week that we never knew. So we've got to look for Davy Cooper's goal in the Dryborough Cup final. Okay.
Maybe we can show it next week.
The app won't work, says Nick Muller. Is that the app where they're tracking us?
Alan Smith says Karen Brady's got another job emptying the bins.
Yeah. Does she need the money though? Does she, Karen Brady? I'm not keen on her, to be honest. She's not one of my favourites.
Paul Falwell Blue.
Oh, hello, Paul from Birmingham. How's Birmingham in lockdown? How is everything down there? Nice to see you, Paul, as always. Oh, Monkey Clement supports Milton Keynes Dons.
Are you the Milton Keynes Dons vlogger?
Yeah. Are you a vlogger?
We liked her, didn't we?
I don't think she was called Monkey Clements, though. The young girl. I think there's more than one.
But
great, she is really good. I don't know if you've seen your vlogger. She's a young girl. She's only about.
She's brilliant.
She's about 11 or something. She's fantastic. She's very, very la-di-da and posh and all that sort of stuff. But Jane we were really looking forward to going to Milton Keynes. Well, obviously because it got padded seats, so that's one thing. But you've got those little robots, haven't you, that deliver stuff.
Deliver the shopping from Co-op.
Yeah, so we were so excited to see that. Jane couldn't wait to see those. Yeah. So we're hoping to see some of these delivery robots. The trial on the Isle of Wight used a downloadable app, as in Korea, etc. Not proved successful on the Isle of Wight, and therefore not being rolled out in the rest of the UK yet. But we are still being unlocked.
Well, I think as long as you're careful.
James Ruffett's in. Oh, James is in Peru.
Oh, blimey, we
didn't,
have got people
we didn't know
all
you were
over
in
the world,
Peru.
haven't we?
So that's Peru, Australia. We've got
Philippines.
Thailand, the Philippines.
That's
We've got
amazing.
Fleetwood. We've got St Anne's. We've
London.
got 35 years ago, Burnley are here. Come to the future from behind.
Monkey Clement says, yeah, her name's Maya with the blonde hair. Right? I watch her videos. Yeah, she's brilliant, isn't she? She really is. She's one of the better ones, actually. We really like her, the little MK.
Yeah,
blogger.
she's fabulous, honestly. We commented on her video. She's really good.
Leah says the pie still needs gravy. Oh, it's a bolty pie. They normally have actually these Frey Bentos ones.
Every pie needs gravy.
I normally have the steak and kidney ones, and they have quite a lot of gravy in them. I don't tend to have extra gravy. I don't know what I'd have this one with, actually. Oh, I tell you what I will have it with, actually. I've been having micro chips, which I'm funny with chips. I can't find any oven chips I like, and I can't be trusted with a fryer because I would burn the house down. So I have microwavable microchips that aren't called microchips now, they're called something else. But I have those with Nando's peri peri sauce. So I think this with microchips and some Nando's peri peri sauce. That's what I'm going to
David
have.
Skull says they are like molten lava, those cakes, when cooked. So you've got to be really careful with those.
I will be careful, thank you.
You're not allowed to work when in furlough, apparently, says Nick Muller, as you're still being paid. So
Oh, that's interesting.
that is interesting. He obviously can't be being paid if he's going delivering pizzas then, or if he's got himself in trouble, isn't he? Mr. Molly says, I'm all for veggie Frey Bentos products named from the Frey Bentos port in Uruguay, which is where the products were originally exported from. There's a random fact. That is a random fact,
yeah.
Mr. Molly. I don't know where you came up with that from. I didn't know that there was a Frey Bentos port in Uruguay.
God, we learn all sorts in here on a Saturday, don't we? Mr. Merlin, no offence, but never darken the doors at MK Dons. Yeah, I think
know.
a few people.
Yes, I
do like
know.
that. But on the other side of that coin, AFC Wimbledon are nearly back at Plough Lane, 18 years on. So they've just signed the contract with the builders for that. So
you can take the club away, but you can't take the club away from the fans. You can't get rid of the fans, and I think that's amazing.
So that's great news for them. And I actually might be able to see at Plough Lane as well, because I can't see on that terrace because I'm too short where they're playing at the moment in Kingston. I don't know where Plough Lane actually is. Is it anywhere near?
Jane, Ryan has sent you a direct message with a link on Twitter with the goal.
All right.
So should we take a look at it? Do you want to take a look at that now and tell us?
I kind of feel bad because we can't show everybody else.
No. Well, we might be able to, maybe not through technology, but we can show it to the screen.
Right, let's have a little look.
Monkey Clement says, any idea when we think the league will be back? Well, that's $1 million question, Monkey Clements, at the moment, isn't it? I mean, they can't even decide. I mean, there's a meeting. The EFL are having a meeting on the 8th of June, which we discussed earlier, where they're going to try and decide on how they're going to finish the season. But there's already teams threatening legal action with Tranmere Rovers and Peter in particular, both threatening legal action if the season isn't completed. Is that right? Is that what they're saying?
Yes.
And then we don't also know, obviously the season may well come back, but then it still may be behind closed doors. And then the other thing with that is, well, particularly for, I mean, Premier League clubs playing behind closed doors are going to get probably big money for it, but who is really going to watch Colchester versus Dagenham and Redbridge or something on live on some sort of channel, but with no fans there? I just honestly, only obviously Colchester and Dagenham and Redbridge fans will watch it, but there's only the Premier League really that can possibly play games behind closed doors and make any money out of it. I don't think any other league will. Maybe some of the big ones in the Championship, maybe Leeds might get a big following on TV, but I'm not going to watch Leeds on. It's not with no fans there. It's only going to be for the fans of the clubs that are on. And I honestly don't think it's a great money model. I don't think it'll be watched by as many as they think it will. Certainly not as much as it would if it was just a regular game and it was a regular football match for
Especially
people.
with the pubs being shut as well.
Yeah, the pubs are shut, so nobody's going to watch it in the pubs, are they? And are the pubs going to be open soon? It's a big mess. It's a big mess.
Leah says curry sauce is Mark's favourite with that pie, to be honest. Yeah. Do you know, I thought I bought a curry sauce packet mix, but I ended up picking up chicken gravy by mistake. So that's a little disappointing.
Microchips are cool. Yeah, they are.
Microchips
They're
are
all right.
one of the better chips.
What are
I
those
think.
chips we've been having? The ones?
They're microchips.
No, the vegetable ones. They're really nice.
Oh yeah, they're really nice. Actually, they're I don't know what make they are, but they are. I don't think they have them in Asda, do they? They have them somewhere else. I think Tesco's have them. They're just like beetroot and parsnip and carrot.
Maybe carrot. Yeah, they're very nice.
Chips.
Like
they are really
veggie
nice,
chips. They're very,
actually.
very nice. Alan Smith has got exactly the same taste as food as you, Jane. He loves a hot Ruby Murray. He loves a
Yeah, I
curry.
do
Yes,
as
Jane loves
well.
the curries. I just can't do curry. It's just...
I found a good takeaway actually in Blackpool. I should tell you
Imagine
this,
if
but-
BFC was moved to Wakefield, who then claimed to be the 53 Cup winners. Yeah, honestly, I get that, Mr. Molly. I think everybody gets the fact that the franchising out of Wimbledon to make a new team called Milton Dons Keynes was a travesty, really. But on the upside, Wimbledon are back. They are back, and they're going to be moving to a new ground. And you can't blame the people of Milton Keynes Dons who go and support Milton Keynes Dons. If you live in Milton Keynes, then it's football. It's just a shame they had to take another club to do it. Why they just didn't come up, the normal way. But it was just the first time franchising had been done in this country, and of course it goes on all the time in American football. They move clubs like it must be awful. It must be absolutely awful. They just take. I remember watching the LA Rams. The LA Rams back in the day, and they're now they've moved, haven't they, somewhere else? There's loads of American.
Derby. Did they move to Derby?
Yes.
Gulshan is the Indian that I like in Blackpool. If you know that.
The Gulshan.
So yeah, they're very good. I do like their food. But we haven't been having any takeaways yet. We've been ultra cautious really during lockdown. We haven't had any food in yet, but maybe it will come.
Tony Alsop has loved Jane's away days. So there you go. Felt as though he was in the crowd. Well, that's really good. And we've tried our best to kind of make you kind of feel like you went, you travel to the game and you'll have a memory as if you actually went there. Looking back over the years, you think, oh, did I go to that game? You actually watched Jane's video. So that was the idea of those, really, to get you the feel of going to the ground and going to the pubs and having a beer and the food.
Because it is all about the whole day experience.
The whole
It's
experience,
not just if it was about the match, I wouldn't bother going.
No, certainly not this season. Anyway, it was pretty hard. It was pretty hard this season.
Nick says 20 years ago, Ipswich won the playoff final. I was 27. It was the last game at the old Wembley. Oh wow!
Ooh.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? Winning the playoff finals.
Yeah,
We've
it
seen that a
is.
few times.
We have won quite a few playoff finals
At
in
both
our
Wembleys.
time.
And the Millennium.
And the
Stadium.
Millennium as well, yeah. We had, in fact, Blackpool had a pretty good run, really, didn't they, of finals, of LDV finals. We had a great time, particularly in the 90s, really. We had a wonderful time. And obviously then getting promoted into Premier League was just the icing on the cake. Monkey Clements, I've already paid for my season ticket for the 2021 season. Oh,
Yeah,
they're not
some
selling them yet,
some
Blackpool
clubs are,
ones.
Some clubs aren't.
Yeah,
It's difficult when you don't know when.
No, Blackpool aren't selling them yet. I mean, we haven't heard anything about what's going to happen with the season tickets that, the games we still got. And we also pay for a few away games as well, tickets for that, we haven't heard anything yet.
I suppose the danger is that if they start selling next year's season ticket, it opens up the can of worms with, what's happened, what happens with our money from last season, which they can't really tie up until they know, really.
Davy Cooper, another Davy Cooper fact from Ryan Dunbar. Are you ready for this one? He scored a screamer of a free kick against Aberdeen, and the Aberdeen keeper, Jim Leighton, said he got a hand on it, to which Cooper replied, yeah, on the way back out.
Nice one, I like it. I like Davy Cooper.
I like that. We're liking Davy Cooper. Yeah, that's a great comeback line, isn't it?
Well,
Yeah,
another thing about buying your season ticket for next season, I mean, if the season starts in, say, August, September, but you can't go to a match until January.
What are they going to do?
I don't know. I guess your season ticket would include the iFollow.
Yeah.
But would clubs make that free anyway?
I don't know. I mean, I know a lot of people are saying that they'll buy a season ticket anyway just to support the club, which is, which there is that thing where, your club's struggling and if you love them, you will support. But the only trouble is a lot of people are not making any money at the moment. It's, with lockdown, it's a hard time, isn't it, financially for everybody. So to ask people to stump up, charitably to your football club when you've got no money to buy food for your own family, it's going to be a tough ask for a lot of people.
Oh,
I
Mr.
think.
Moley's off to the garden centre. Oh, don't cause too much trouble down there.
Have a nice time at the garden centre, Mr. Moley.
It'll be busy.
Nice to see you as always,
Take
and
care.
we really
Prepare for
appreciate.
queues. It will be busy down there today.
Hi from Ian Murphy from Fromby. Fromby. Where, do you know what that is, Fromby?
Don't know. Is it Formby?
Should it be Formby?
Maybe.
Near Southport?
Adams.
Let us know, Ian, but hi to you anyway, but let us know where Fromby is, or whether that's just a typo and that should say Formby. We obviously had a very famous Formby here at Blackpool called George.
Adam says, "Hi guys, how much do you think Blackpool need to spend in the transfer window?" I say at least 5 million because I've always done it, and add players we could get, and it works perfectly. Ask me on FIFA.
Yes, spending 5 million on FIFA. Yeah,
Oh, what's going to happen to the transfer
I'm
market?
sure Simon Sadler would love that, to just spend 5 million on FIFA and get a great team. It'd be wonderful, wouldn't it? But I don't know really. It all depends, doesn't it, for us? If this Neil Critchley really has got great contacts and he can get some of these young kids from Liverpool, and he knows some good young players to get in. We may not have to spend as much this season to get a good
We were
team
saying
together,
last week,
but you
of course,
can't just have kids.
The future could be loan players because you don't want to be committing to signing contract players.
Well, it's going to, it makes you wonder how the future of football is going to go, doesn't it, after all this? Because it's, they've had a real kick up the backside with it all about money and everything, haven't they? Because, they've never had a situation where they've just lost all this revenue. I mean, every club has lost revenue, haven't they, from Manchester United down. I remember watching that game on TV to the Ipswich. I think it was against Barnsley. Alan, sorry, I can remember that bit. I've lost it. Ian Murphy.
I wonder which team holds the record for the most playoff failures. Well, I think we know the answer to that one, don't we? Preston.
Yes, we do. Yes, we
now, a bit of exciting news.
Oh, from Liverpool. Oh, Formby near Liverpool. Yes, yes. We've got you, and we know where you are. So, who's your team, Ian? Who do you follow? Are you a Liverpool fan or Tranmere or one of the smaller clubs around Liverpool? Who do you follow?
Exciting news from the world of brick football. FC Brickstand are in the playoffs. They needed a better result than the team above them in the match last Sunday. They got it. They won emphatically 4-0 against Wadden Robins.
Was it a hat-trick from Muldoon?
Hat-trick for Conor Muldoon. So they romped their way into the playoffs, which is super, super, super exciting. They've got they're at home in the first leg of the playoffs tomorrow night at 7:45. Just get down there on Twitter at FC Brickstand and just follow that. It's going to be brilliant. They've got an ice cream van down there because obviously it's very hot at the moment. So
Mr. Bricky.
He's called Mr. Bricky.
If you've just arrived and you think you've walked into an alternate universe, you don't know anything about this. Jane has been following a Lego football team on Twitter for a couple of years now, and we actually did a video on it where Jane went to meet the guy who's put it all together. It's in the video somewhere down below. If you search FC Brickstand, you find all about them. And Jane went down and they made a little Lego me, so we're both in the crowd. It's just fabulous, and it's keeping the football going, isn't it? For you, so.
If you want to attend the match tomorrow night, this playoff semi-final first leg, you can buy a membership at Brickstand for £5. So if you go onto their website, I don't know what the address of the website is, but if you just type in FC Brickstand or go via at FC Brickstand on Twitter, you'll be able to find it from there. You can buy a membership for £5, and what you will get for that, they will build a little Lego version of you to go in the stand for not only for the playoffs, but also for all the matches next season as well. So you'll be there at Brick Lane in the stand, the little Lego version of you for just £5. It's well worth it. My membership's just renewed.
Yes, you get a lot of joy out of it, don't you? The Brick Stand.
No.
And they've just snuck into the playoffs, into 6th place. So they've done a Blackpool. So we don't know how far they're going to go, but we're excited about it. Whether they get to the playoff final, we don't know, but it's all exciting stuff.
And they're playing Green Lawn Rovers in the playoff semi-finals, who, of course, are famously a vegan club. So what they're doing for the visiting fans, they're giving them an edible vegan ticket. So when they turn up, they can use the edible vegan ticket to get into the ground, and then they can eat it during the game, which I think is a brilliant idea. The other playoff semi-final is Amber Exiles versus Bay City Shrimps. Now, Bay City Shrimps actually hosted Interlocking. Interlocking went there on their last away day of the season to the coast to watch their team play at Bay City Shrimps, and it was fancy dress. So a lot of their fans turned up in fancy dressed as pirates and spacemen and whatnot. So that was really good. And they won 2-0 as well. So that's
Wow.
great. So, tomorrow night, FC Brickstand on Twitter. Just honestly, get down there on Twitter at FC Brickstand tomorrow night, 7:45. And just follow it because they'll have a Twitter feed, going up to the match, building up to the match, and then during the match. And you'll really get into it. Honestly, it's wonderful. It's such good fun. You'll really get into the spirit and you'll really be wanting them to win. It's so exciting. Lee and I will be there. Little Lego versions of me and Lee will be there and the goal.
We will be there. Monkey Clement said that the club say you can get a refund on away tickets already bought, but I'm waiting to see what happens first. Nick Muller's bought his 2021 season for Ipswich already, and he gets to watch free on iFollow, so that's confirmed. Ryan talks about Davy Cooper, because if he spoke about another Rangers legend, Gazza, he could be here all day. Nick is asking, is there a George Formby statue? No, there isn't a George Formby statue, which is a kind of a shame, really. There's a Les Dawson in St Anne's, and there's a Morecambe and Wise at the Winter Gardens now, which is really, really good. It's a really good statue of them. I'm sure this George Formby famously used to clean windows with his little stick of Blackpool Rock. He did used to be cleaning when he was cleaning windows, and with little stick of Blackpool Rock. Absolutely, with his used to play ukulele. Richie Hughes from the Evening Post said Blackpool could be in a very strong position when lockdown is over. Well, yeah, they could be. I mean, they don't seem to be bleating financially very much at the moment, which for a lot of fans, actually, a lot of Blackpool fans, it's a shame. For a lot of them, they're a bit upset the Oysters are not still in ownership of the football club, because we'd like to see them suffer some more. So they've kind of got out of it at the right time, haven't they, really, in many ways? But they'd be really struggling, the Oysters. So.
I don't think anyone's going to be in a strong position when lockdown's over, to be honest. I think Blackpool aren't doing great financially. I think it's going to be a while before they get back on their feet, to be honest, with the mess that was left behind. But certainly with the good relationships that Critchley will have with Liverpool. Yeah.
Monkey Clements is asking, what is our best away game? If you're meaning this season, Monkey Clements, you will have to wait to find out, because we're just doing Jane's away day review, because she went to every single game of the season, as she always does. But obviously there's 4 games she couldn't attend, but she's been to them all before, so she'll rate it on previous visits to those grounds. But you'll have to wait to find out, see what the favourite away game. So keep an eye out on in the videos, and we'll be doing Jane's. We've done the bottom 3 so far. So there's more to come.
So you can watch that in the previous videos. Who my bottom 3 away days of this season were. And
Rotherham was one of them. Don't give it away. We're not going to give it totally away, but everybody knows we hated Rotherham.
We did hate Rotherham.
We just hated Rotherham. It was awful.
But there's going to be more videos charting up to number 1 over the following week or so. So keep an eye out on, and you'll find out what the best away day was.
David Scholes says, here's a good question for you, Jane. Do you think England's chances in Euro 2020 improved or hindered by being delayed by 12 months? To be honest with you, I would go for hindered, because I think England were playing really, really well, and I actually fancied it. I really did. I thought we had a great chance, and I thought with it being in England, well, with the final being at Wembley, and with the semi-finals at Wembley, and with us playing at Wembley, in England the whole way through, I just thought we were going to, I thought we were going to do it. I really did, honestly, because the English football has been amazing, hasn't it? The last few games have been incredible. So could well be hindered by it. But then again, all the other clubs are hindered by it as well. All the other countries are in the same boat, aren't they? So it may well, don't know. I can't tell for sure, but I did fancy our chances this year. I really did. I was really looking forward to it. And as we were saying, we were going out to the Conifers just before we're going out to this alternative World Cup. We have press accreditation. We're going to do filming at it's like the alternative World Cup for all the little nations that obviously don't qualify for for the proper World Cup. But
Mazzini says it's a shame about the Ghana for cancellation. I saw one of their World Cup games in 2018. They're going to launch more continental competitions, so maybe see you at one in the future.
Yeah, we're definitely going to do it. It's as I say, we got the press accreditation so we could film, and oh God, we were so excited. We're even going to do, because I won't fly. This is the only thing, I won't fly, so we're going to do a road trip from like England all the way to North Macedonia, taking in all these different places. It's going to be, honestly, I was so excited about these videos, and it's
going to be amazing. But we will go in the future. We'll definitely go in the future, and that video will still come. But just not yet. So Monkey's asking, will that be posted on this channel? Yes. The away day reviews, yes, will be posted on this channel. It's already here. The bottom 3 is already here, so you can watch that already. Yeah. And the others will come over the next week. So subscribe, and you will get notification when they are posted. Another
song or songs that you used to hear down in Blackpool are Lassie from Lancashire. I kind of remember that one. And funny enough, the Blackpool Bell at the Pleasure Beach, they brought in the Hard Luck Bears, which were like an animated bear show, which they brought in from America. I think Disney might have had it, or one of these theme parks had it, and they brought it into Blackpool. It was there for years, and they used to have all these animatronic bears that were singing, and it was fantastic. But they used to sing the Blackpool Bell in that. Funnily enough, that's a random fact for you. But I used to love that. I can't remember they weren't the Hard Luck Bears. They were called something else, but in America they were called the Hard Luck Bears. But
Ednam is saying that George Formby statue would have to be in St Anne's, as that's where he lived. I never knew he lived here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I really enjoyed your video last night of your walk around Blackpool Central. So well done, Lee.
Ah. Yes. Well, that was, it's full, we've had such a massive response to these walks down the promenade video. They've gone, for us, practically viral, because I did my wonderful B-roll about having toast and tea in the morning, and it got like 200 views. But we walked down Blackpool Prom, and it's had like nearly 10,000 views now, and the second one's catching it up. So that's almost the video 2 has had nearly 10,000 as well. So I thought, well, might as well do another one. People like him, so.
And there's more to come.
There's more to come. Yeah, there is quite
seen the bunnies yet.
A lot of more stuff. You've not seen the bunnies yet, and I've been down actually filming because I've been helping another YouTube channel called Bright State of Mind. It's a Blackpool fan called Rob, and he's a hypnotherapist, and he's been putting hypnotherapy sessions online.
He can help you with your fear of flying, Lee.
Yeah, with my fear of flying, he's got no hope. I can't be hypnotised. I've tried before.
There's a challenge for you, Rob.
You can't hypnotise.
I'll lay that one down.
You can't, honestly. I've tried to be hypnotised. I've been on stage and everything, and they can never hypnotise me.
Yeah, but you've got to want to. You've got to let
yourself
go.
I know, but I can't seem to. It's like when I listened to that thing before, and my foot started to hurt me when I was thinking about my feet and everything.
Rob, help.
Should I be listening to this video where you got to lie and you got to breathe deeply? I started laughing when you had to hold your breath for about 25 million seconds.
You got to sleep though, didn't you?
Did I?
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe I did. Yeah. Maybe it's good for me. Maybe I can be hypnotised.
It takes training. You've got to train your brain, and you've got to train yourself to relax and let go, really. But I do it every night to get to sleep, the meditation.
What do we think of the Bolton vlogger Thogden? Well, he's one of the best in the fact that he had a lot of luck, and he went and filmed a film as Leicester's. He went to Leicester, didn't he, when they won the Premier League, and it kind of launched his channel off. I find him he's okay. His quality is better than some, but not always brilliant. Thog Dad is a bit.
He's a bit London. We're a bit more northern.
Yeah, he's London for us. Yeah, he's a bit. Yeah, he's not like a Bolton natural Bolton fan, but no, he's very good. He's very good, and we could only dream of getting that sort of many subscribers. Obviously, I'm quite excited because we're on the road to 2,000. So if you haven't subscribed yet, if I can get to 2,000, honestly, that's like a dream come true for me. We're on 1.8 thousand. 1.85 thousand, so nearly 2,000. If I get to 2,000, honestly, it's like, I'll be amazed. I can't even believe I got 100 people, to be honest. So it's a lot of hard work, to do all these things. It's more than I ever imagined. The work in making the videos and editing the videos and making them entertaining and all the rest of it. It's really hard. You put a lot of work into it, and but to have nearly 2,000, it's mind blowing. I can't.
And increasing all the time.
And increasing all the time, yeah. So
you do a great job.
Yeah, we just, God, I think Thogger's got about 250,000. I think he's got 250,000 subscribers, which is great. For somebody who's not a personality. He's not like a star on TV or anything. So he's done very, very well.
Alan Smith is asking, what do you think about the next World Cup in Qatar? Those geezers must be sweating, playing 40-degree heat, and now maybe not taking place when they thought. It's wrong. The whole thing was
wrong in the first place, if I'm being honest. And how they awarded Qatar the World Cup.
We know why it happened, don't we?
Yeah, money. Everybody knows it was money, but I mean, how they couldn't give it to England on that World Cup bid, I will never ever I'll never know. Honestly, I could go on about it for the next half an hour about how angry I was about that Qatar bid. It was unbelievable. I mean, not only did they not have football, and they didn't have any football stadiums, but they actually didn't even have towns to put football stadiums in. They've had to build new towns to put football stadiums in. England could stage a World Cup tomorrow if everything came back and we could all go
tomorrow.
No, but we could. We have all the stadiums, we've got the infrastructure, the transport, the hotels. You can all just come and have a World Cup in England. And to be honest with you, everything we do in England is always the best anyway. I mean, we had the blooming Olympic Games, and they're the best Olympic Games ever in the history of Olympic Games, attended by more people at every event than's ever been attended, and yet they don't want to give us the World Cup, and yet we invented the game, and we haven't had a World Cup since 1966, and they're doing America again, are they? And Mexico are getting a share of it, and then they've had three since this will be their third since 1966. The whole thing is bent and corrupt.
Nick Muller is asking, what's better, Southend or Blackpool Rock? I don't think I've had any Southend rock, actually.
Well, Nick, I'm going to answer that question for you, actually, because all the rock in the country is made here in Blackpool. So
all the rock in the country,
most of it is.
Because I've actually seen some rock in Blackpool that's been made in Skegness.
Oh, well, mainly rock is made in Blackpool, and we obviously just put Southend in the middle of it or wherever, but we are the main rock manufacturers.
Rock gods.
We are the rock gods, yeah. So most of the rock that you get in other places is actually made in Blackpool anyway. They can put whatever name they want to in your rock. You can have rock made for your wedding and all sorts of stuff. But
Nick says
Blackpool rock's the best.
Stopped doing his own teens videos. Can't forgive him for that. Stump Peg is a better Bolton vlogger. Yeah, she's very good, isn't she?
Yeah, she's good. Now, Stunt Peg, she is actually quite funny, isn't she? And she's
got more of a personality.
She's got more of a personality than Thogden, but Thogden goes. The thing with Thogden is he's got that many subscribers and he's making obviously money out of it now. They can afford to go like to Bayern Munich, and whereas you can't, you don't make money on YouTube unless you've got millions of subscribers.
He's sold out, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's kind of sold out. It started going, but you pick up probably more subscribers from going to watch a Rangers game and all that because people will watch it, and I get all that, but yeah,
and he's like the equivalent of the Premier League vlogger, isn't he? And would we want to be in the Premier League? I don't know about that.
I will, Dennis. I'll have to stop sitting on the fence about FIFA, the most bent football organisation in the world. They're as bent, and they still managed to get out of all the trouble they were in, haven't they? They still managed to govern themselves when they were being looked into. They're vile, absolutely vile.
Just like to give another plug for our Tuesday night quiz at 7:00. We've got a football quiz. If you're free, come along and take part. It's good fun.
Yeah.
Also, we've got
we've
got the away day reviews coming. I've written a couple of blogs. I did one on Sunday and I did another one last night. So if you want to read about what we've been up to in lockdown, you can find that. The link is below. It will be. You can find me on Twitter at Blackpool Jane, and my blogs will be on there, so you'll be able to find that.
David Skoll says
it's
the Waterloos.
janestewart.co.uk. You'll be able to find my blog directly.
Yeah, it's actually down. It's going across the bottom as well, and it keeps coming up on the thing. The Waterloo's good for rock. The Waterloo pub, it is great for rock.
Very good. I went to see Book Cherry there.
Oh, did
Really,
you?
really good.
Ah,
really
she
good.
likes book cherry.
Yeah, really good.
Edna Mansfield. I bought some rock in Gibraltar a few years ago when I was in the RAF, and it was made by, guess who? The Coronation Rock Company in Blackpool. Yes, of course it was, because we make all the rock. We do. Blackpool makes, well, there's not many rock factories in the world apart from Blackpool, and there's not as many rock factories as there used to be. But yeah, we are the kings of making rock. Tangerine Aid, hi. Lee Jane, hi. Aid. He totally agrees with us about USA Mexico World Cup. It is scandalous. Yeah, it is. It's totally, honestly, how can America have it yet again? I think that's the third time America have had it, and we haven't won since 1966, have we? And we're like, we gave the world the game. We've got the best stadiums in the world, the best fans. It'll be the best World Cup ever, and we can't have it. It's just,
Don't get me started on America.
I like America. I actually like America, and sometimes I wish I was born in America. I think, I think a lot of things in America are great. Not everything about America is great, but whenever I've gone to like Florida and Disney, I've loved it. I know that's not America.
I love San Diego. San Diego was amazing, but
Texas.
I think it's a bit dodgy at the moment.
I went to Texas. We actually went to Texas on a holiday, and that's not quite. It's not like a Disney experience, but parts of it were all right. But I was amazed. We travelled from. We travelled down to a place called San Antonio, which is on the border, on the Mexican Texas border, and we were in Houston, Dallas, and you had to. It was like 12 hours of a drive, and you never got out. You never got out of Texas. 12 hours. It was driving through Texas, and there was times where you could see like the horizon on either side of the road. You're thinking, if we break down here, we're dead.
It's gonna be like driving to North Macedonia.
Yeah, but it makes you wonder how those cowboys that drove the cattle across like Texas from. It must have taken months. It's no wonder they died, and they got to get past Indians and all the rest of it. It must have been scary times. Nick thinks Thogden's comes from a well-off family anyway. Yeah, you seem to get that. You seem to get that impression. He's likable enough. He's just not. Yeah, he's just not my cup. He's not my cup of tea. I prefer watching Stump Peg, I must admit, but I've not watched too much of Thogden because I didn't find him great.
He's not like Ben from Fleetwood, is he?
No, Cos Vlogs, he's got like we tend to like YouTubers with a lot, with tons of personality. Some of these young kids are amazing.
Got the likability factor, really.
Yeah, and I don't find him as likable as some people do, but hey, the numbers I can't criticise because the numbers are amazing.
David Scholes, Jane, did you enjoy the Massive Wagons track I sent you? Yeah, that was fantastic. That was a little Lego rock band video. That was really, really very good. I've sent it on to the Brickstand guy, so hopefully we'll see them. See them performing at the end of season.
Is that the Lego band? Is that the Lego band? Yeah, no, that looks really, amazing. Really yeah, they used to make rock upstairs in the building, which was later the Palace nightclub. Did they? I don't know. I didn't know that. That's a fact, Dennis, that we didn't know. But
no, Ryan said he's met Thogden a couple of times, and yeah, his dad is a director in an oil company.
Yeah. I mean, his dad's. Well, we watched a few of him and his dad together, and his dad just seems to. He seems. How can we say he looks like he's acting everything he's doing as a really bad actor? You
just don't get the warmth from them.
He looks like he's fake all the time. He looks like an actor that's pretending to be Thog Dad somehow, and he's not really that character. And he tries to be in some sort of character which doesn't really suit him somehow. I don't know if you know what I mean, but it's kind of like he's a guy playing the role of Thog Dad, which is this amazing sort of funny character on YouTube, and he isn't. He comes across as not very funny.
Nick says Ben from Fleetwood is more honest. Yeah, Ben's just fantastic. He's just you just warm to him, don't you, straight away?
Yeah. Ben
even though we didn't particularly care or want to know anything about Fleetwood before we started watching Ben's videos. Now it's like, you look at the results and you just want to see Ben's reactions, and it's
and he's also like Ben he's like a walking, talking sort of dictionary of football. He just his facts he comes out with, and he just knows so much. Even not just on like when he's on camera and he's rehearsed it. If you actually meet him and you talk to him, actually just know so much stuff. It just like pours out of him the knowledge he has on games and his memories of games. For such a young lad, he is a real talent, and he's going to go far.
Yeah, David says that was a real band. That's a video of an LP track. Yeah, I did see they were a real band, actually. It's just what a great idea for a video, though, having the little Lego versions of them, and the way they did it is really, really good. Where did you find that?
Yeah.
Oh, Ryan says, have you had your haggis and banana blossom yet? Well, the banana blossom, not going to lie, went straight in the bin. Although Leah, I don't know if Leah's still here, Leah was saying that she went down to her local Asian shop and they got some on the shelf there, and she was asking the Sri Lankan guy in there, saying, he said, oh, well, my wife likes to cook with it. She puts it in stir fries and in curries, and we get a big batch of it, and we've just put some on the shelves, but no one's ever bought a tin ever. I'm not surprised. I won't be buying any more. But the haggis, no, I haven't had the haggis yet either. Need to get some neeps and tatties to go with it. But it's not really, you don't want to eat hot food at the moment. It's so hot.
No,
it's
we've
just
been having
ridiculously
lots
hot
of
here.
salads, haven't we? Lots of salads.
Yeah, salad will be top of the shopping list today.
And what are those lettuces that you're making sandwiches with? They're amazing.
Yeah, I can't remember what they're called.
She makes a sandwich with like a lettuce, little mini lettuce, and you it's just
called?
and then you put like the tuna or whatever inside. It's like a sandwich, but
It's like an open sandwich with like a little lettuce leaf underneath.
It's really nice. Actually, without the bread, I've really nice and refreshing in this weather as well. But you just want to drink lots of fluid, aren't you? Get lots of water down yourself, because it's really hot, and it's just, I don't know, it's just been the best summer for a long time so far, and unfortunately we're all in lockdown.
Well, the thing is, it's too hot to go for walks. We went for a lunchtime walk a couple of days ago, didn't we? And it was just really, it's just too much, really. You're just sweating when you get back. We didn't bother yesterday, did we? Because we just knew it was too hot. But I think maybe first thing in the morning or last thing at night, maybe the best time to go for walks now, because it's just you couldn't go out for a walk now. It's just too hot.
Yeah. David Scholes is saying, look on YouTube, there's a video of making that Lego promo.
Okay.
I love these stop-start animations, and they're not that difficult to, I watched a video on a guy who was making one for like a food company, and
it's just having the patience.
It's having the patience. It's just having the patience to keep moving them little bits at a time, and just taking a picture. Because obviously, any movie, what we're watching now is just a number of pictures all in a row going at so many frames per second. So this is going at like 30 frames a second. So you've got to go at 30 frames a second, you've got to take 30 pictures for 1 second. So you'd have to move them just a little bit, but it does look amazing. It's a bit like, when you used to be at school and you had that flip book, and you used to have a little stick man, and you could flick it and maybe scoring a goal or something. You drew him on every page, didn't you? I used to love making them.
Ryan points out we're missing Sharky today, the Newcastle vlogger.
Oh,
he's normally here, isn't he, on Saturday afternoon?
Yeah, he is normally here, isn't he? I know maybe he's a little bit down a bit, really, because it looked like, all the dreams were coming true, Newcastle, weren't they? These richest owners in the world were coming, and of course, it's not been liked, obviously, by the other clubs, because there's some problem with with the way they get the money and all this sort of stuff, and it's looking like it's not going to happen now. And
I don't know. I was reading something this morning that was saying maybe it was, so I'm not really sure what's going on there.
Maybe it was that they were.
Yeah.
I mean, apparently they started up a TV channel, didn't they, which was stealing money off all the Premier League and off Scouts, like a bootleg pirate TV station, and they're not very happy about the fact they've been stealing money from the Premier League, and they're saying, well, you're not coming in the club.
Door on Tours here. Good afternoon.
Oh, hello, Dor. How you doing? How's life in Nottingham? This is another YouTube vlogger, by the way. He vlogs. He's a Nottingham Forest fan, and he's another great vlogger. We watch him as well, and he's another one. If you like football vlogs, go and check out his channel. It's called Door on Tour, and it's great, and can't praise him enough. So help him out, give him a like, and subscribe to him as well if you haven't already.
Yeah, Tangerine says haggis and banana blossom. I didn't have them together. I found some tinned haggis, so that was how haggis came into the conversation last week. But I'm looking forward to that, actually. I do like a bit of haggis. I'm very excited to find that they have it in tins as well. I thought you could just buy it in the, you know, in the bladders or whatever you call them, however they normally sell them.
Is it not like a bagpipe in it normally? Like
Yeah.
it looks like a. I've always imagined a haggis. I'm sure I've seen a thing where they look like bagpipes, don't they, on the hills of Scotland?
They do,
They do. It's like a very bagpipe shape animal, isn't it?
Without the pipes.
Yes.
It's not really an animal.
It is an animal, isn't it?
Haggis, no.
It is. It's shaped like a bagpipe. It's got like bagpipe. I've seen them on pictures. Nick Muller says Mike Ashby might buy Ipswich, just a rumour.
No, but Mike Ashley.
Oh, Mike Ashley.
Oh gosh.
Oh, blimey.
Oh, you don't want that, do you?
Oh,
well, I
gosh.
suppose he's you know, he's out of Rangers now, and he's getting out of Newcastle.
It's a good job Sharky's not here.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan will tell you all about Mike Ashley. You don't like him either, does he? They've had the shop in Rangers or something. They've had the it was like the sports shop where you could get all your sports goods, all your tops and everything at Rangers was owned by Mike Ashley, and there was hardly any blooming Rangers kit in it. Was it? You could get kit from everywhere else but Rangers. Door on Tour, you're asking the question that we can't talk about at the moment because it's top secret, isn't it? You're not allowed to say anything till the 1st of June, so we've got to keep quiet on that one. So yeah, we're not saying anything about that at the moment. We're keeping quiet on that one. But yeah, it's haggis. Ryan, it is an animal. It's like
an animal.
It is. I've seen it. It's like a bagpipe thing. It's like a sheep.
It's not an animal.
I know it's not an animal. Oh well, yeah.
It's bits of an animal.
Oh. No. Yeah. Yeah.
So what's everybody up to for the rest of the weekend and next week? You got any exciting plans? We can go out and meet more people.
Nods a wink to
Monday.
a blind bat door.
Are we going to be going out and socialising with other people next week, or are we not going to be? Are we going to be carrying on being careful? I know some of us can't still go out, but yeah, it's a little bit. You still want to err on the side of caution a little bit, don't you? Because I believe the stats are not going in the right direction in Blackpool still. At the moment.
No, we've had a bit of a rise because in the numbers, because so many people have started coming to Blackpool. You know, you probably noticed on the video I've just done where there's quite a lot more on the promenade. I didn't quite get everybody. I should have filmed a bit more of how many people, how many cars were parked all on the promenade, coming down for the sunset, walking around. But there's the only thing that I can't understand is that there's no like toilets open anywhere. So where do people go to the loo if they come in?
In the sea, perhaps.
Well, maybe, but. We can't say anything, Ryan, about exciting news on Monday. Shh.
Smithy's saying, have you heard of Lions TV? Like called Dan runs it. Real cushy it is. Does interviews with former players, etc.
Yeah, we'll have to check that out. I've done some interviews with former players, and it was all taken off quite well, and it was a lot of work for nothing, really. You know what I mean? The views weren't as good on it as I'd hoped. I only got like 1,500 views, I think, on Tony Green still, and he was a legend at Newcastle. And I just at the time I just thought I haven't got the time to, I had to take a day off work to go and film it, and then the editing of it all took quite a lot of time, and then to get such a poor views really made me stop it. But as soon as as the channel gets bigger, I'll probably do a lot more interviews with former players in particular. Yeah, we want to do a lot more of that.
Nick Muller said he's going to be watching YouTube. Really, still can't really go out next week. Yeah, we found a few. If you read my blog, you'll see there's a few things that we got. My sunburn's getting really itchy now.
Yeah,
we're doing a few things. We've got we watched the musical on The Shows Must Go On YouTube, which we were watching tonight, weren't we? It's Hairspray tonight. We should be watching that.
Hairspray.
I've actually booked for a couple of gigs as well. A couple of singers are doing gigs from their homes, obviously, but you can watch them on YouTube, which is good. So we've got a couple of those coming up. So yeah, there's a few things that we can start doing now. It's a little bit. It's just bringing entertainment to your house.
Yeah, we've tried to keep you entertained as much as we can. Ryan says he's wish he could socialise with his girlfriend, but he can't. It's just the usual staying in and do it. And he asked, do we watch a series on YouTube called Building Blackpool Better by Seaside? Yes, we have watched it. And funnily enough, when I went to do the the video for the Royal Pigeon Racing Association, he was actually there. He was also filming there. He's a little old guy, a lovely little old guy. I got to talk with him, and he did a video as well of the Royal Pigeon Racing. He's a lovely little old guy. That's what he is, and he just enjoys going around filming Blackpool, and yeah, it's quite interesting. He obviously doesn't do all the kind of producing the videos as I do, but yeah, he's a lovely guy with a lovely heart, and yeah, I have watched his stuff, and I get notified as well. I subscribe to his channel, so.
Yeah, Nick says the FA Cup final with no fans. Got to feel sorry for the fans not going to a cup final. Yeah,
Yeah, that would be a tragedy, wouldn't it? Imagine getting to Wembley for the first time ever in your life and not going.
Tony says he watched the Forest semi-final yesterday. Great game, but also remember a cup game with Arsenal. 2-0 down at half-time and 1-3-2. Bob Wilson in goal in the 70s. What was your best game? There's been so many.
I can't say really.
That Forest
It all sort of, I mean, you remember the massive games, don't you? You remember obviously all the cup finals, the LDV finals, the Billy Eyre, promotion there against Scunthorpe. You remember all those games. You remember the heartaches and the big massive games. Jane always fondly remembers the golden goal at Huddersfield.
I hated that. I hated that game.
I love that game. I love that goal.
We just coasted to
angry.
that stage of the competition, and we just nearly threw it away. I was absolutely livid.
Martin
but
Bullock.
Going back,
you were shouting at him when you came to the crowd. You were telling him off for putting you through
yes.
hell.
Why
Well, I
did
was
you
just
put us
going.
through
I was
that?
going mental because you knew when that golden
cross.
goal went in, the game was over. So you remember those big games, but
the
most of it
comebacks-
just kind of blends
The
into
comebacks
one.
are very good. We were 3-0 down at Wrexham and come back and won 4-3. The
Yeah.
comebacks are always pretty special.
Yeah, you remember the Swansea City game, don't you? With Larry, where we won 6-3, wasn't it?
Yeah,
That's a game that
very
stands out in your
special.
memory. But it's those big games. The rest of it all just seems to kind of blend into sort of one. Seasons go by and years go by, and you don't remember half of them. I remember the late Richard Walker goal, wasn't it? Against that was there. I was there for that goal.
Oh, the
That-
40-yard header.
Well, it was
Plymouth,
it was edge of the box. It really was 20. It was way out, and it was a game where they'd sort of like hung on for 90 minutes, time wasting from the first minute they had, and you didn't think they're ever going to score. And lots of fans had actually gone because it was deep into injury time, and I just remember going actually mental.
Nick's asking, would fans still turn up if their team got to Wembley? Hard to police. Well, yeah, definitely. It's a worry with the playoff finals as well. If they're still looking at playing those at Wembley, are fans going to turn up still? They will, won't they? Rightly or wrongly.
Yeah, Dennis Hutch is a big fan of Seaside, building Blackpool better. Yeah, no, he has got a pretty good following. He's very good, and honestly, he's a lovely old guy. Old guy. He walks around with an old camcorder, and he just. No, he loves it. He loves Blackpool, and it's interesting, isn't it? And Ryan's watched his videos as well. The videos of the hotel and museum. Yeah, well, they're going to be amazing, aren't they?
I can't wait for the museum.
Yeah, no, we're definitely going to do some videos on that. There's loads of stuff coming. I mean, if you watch my promenade video, I show that bit. As we walk around the Grand Theatre, where they've shown you all the plans for the central part of Blackpool, where the police station's coming down, behind the Golden Mile, and actually taking in I think that Mr. T's is going to go as well. The Golden Mile Centre's going. There's going to be a big hotel there.
It's always Mr. B's for me. That.
Yeah, Mr. B's. I think they call it the Golden Mile Centre now. Don't they? It's changed its name, but. Yeah, it's going to be amazing round there, and hopefully, because it's going to run along Central Drive, as far down as the King Edward pub, then hopefully it'll start to improve that Central Drive area because there's going to be a lot of business there. So maybe some big hotels will actually come in on Central Drive just to be near it. So it might get rid of some of the dross, because Central Drive really does need a big kind of bomb dropping on it, really, to be honest. It's so bad.
Now the big question is, Lee, we're about to go food shopping, and we haven't eaten today yet, and when we shop, when we're hungry, we're quite bad and buy quite a lot of food. So do we eat before we go out, even though we haven't really got anything exciting in, or do we wait and have something exciting when we come back?
No, let's buy bad food.
We haven't had a meal today yet. Saturdays are a bit funny, really. We have breakfast. I always have my bacon and egg sandwich on a Saturday.
And then we're planning to get this show ready, aren't we?
And then we prepare for the show, and I've just been
we
sat
don't really have
reading my
time
book,
to
and I've got my
eat
Zoom call with Basil, and then we come and do this. So don't know. I might faint in the shop if I haven't had something to eat. I might have a little something.
That's a question. Isn't it? Would fans still turn up if their team got to Wembley? Like
I think they would.
I think they will as well. I think people. It'd be very hard to stop them travelling, won't it? I mean, you can't stop people travelling. But yeah, it's going to be.
Well, they wouldn't put the trains on. Would
they can't get in, but are they still going to celebrate as if they were there? I don't know.
Nick says all the scarf and T-shirt sellers at the finals are going to be out of pocket.
Yeah, they will. Ryan says, with adequate wheelchair access in the museum is a must-go, and I'm the same as Jane, will always be Mr. B's to me, and for some reason my favourite street is Chapel Street. No idea why.
Which one's Chapel Street?
Chapel Street is the one that's just opposite Central Pier, so it's where the Doctor Who exhibition was on the corner.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Chapel Street. It runs up to Central Drive. It runs under that bridge and up. It's a strange one to be a favourite though. There's not a lot on Chapel Street. Really.
I know Church Street quite well because I used to walk down it from work to get to the midweek matches.
My Church Street kind of just comes into the Winter Gardens, doesn't it?
I used to drink on the, what's that pub? A bit further down from the King Edward up towards the ground on the other side of the road. The George. Yeah, I used to drink in there sometimes before a Tuesday night game as well.
I'm surprised you survived.
They used to do microwave burgers in there. So I used to go in there after work and they'd do me a microwave burger and I'd sit at the bar eating my microwave burger and have my pint before the match. Oh, that was a classy bird. That was my...
Alan Smith liked the bridging and the lifeboat in when we come up north. Yeah, well, the bridge is very popular with away fans, isn't it?
I went in the bridge before the Gillingham game, the last game of last season. That was it's definitely full of characters. It's an interesting pub.
It's an away fans.
They didn't have any ale, I don't think. Though I don't know what I was drinking in there. But, it was definitely an entertaining pub. The lifeboat, I don't know the lifeboat.
The lifeboat is, we kind of passed it on Foxhall Road.
Oh, right, one of those.
Yeah, it was one of those little ones next to
the... No, I don't know.
There's like that Mark Kelly's and then the lifeboat in. If Man United played in the final, there were a lot of fans in London. That's a problem. Yeah, well, it would be. A lot of London fans are United fans. Well, or if a London club gets to Wembley, but... It is, strange how it's going to go on. Anyway,
it's full time.
It is full time. In fact, yes, we've jibber jabbered on for a long time. We are in injury time. So if you've got any last questions or anything, last thing you want to say before we say goodbye for another week, then please post now or forever hold your peace.
Ryan says, always had a connection to it for some reason, and Bank Hay Street, the Mermaid Cafe, was one of my favourite places. And another favourite cafe was the Linsdale.
The Linsdale.
Yeah, there's some great cafes in Blackpool. I do miss the cafes.
I'm trying to think where the Linsdale is. I can't, the name rings a bell, but I just can't think where the Linsdale is.
We always used to go to Jenny's Round Table Cafe on... Lytham Road, just down from the Dog and Partridge, when we used to drink in the Dog before matches. They didn't do food in there, so we used to go to Jenny's Cafe before we went in there. And we went in again. We got barred from the Dog quite a few years ago for celebrating Blackpool winning the playoffs when we needed to be quiet because there were Manchester United fans in there watching their match, and they didn't want us singing in there celebrating, even though we'd just beaten Oldham and qualified for the playoff final, so they barred us. And then we went back for the homecoming day last year. We went back, so we went to Jenny's Round Table Cafe, and it was exactly the same as it had been all those years ago. It had been like 13 years or something since we'd been in
just
there.
Just like walking into an old...
It was just exactly the same people, the same pictures on the wall. It was, it's a great little cafe.
Nick Muller has a question of the day. Jane, are you missing Burger Ground burgers?
I miss the smell. It's an amazing smell.
Yeah, we had, in fact, we had the Doncaster match. You had one, didn't we? We got one from outside, like an outside takeaway van. It was
good. It did beat me though. I know I put too much.
Defeated her.
I put too much relish on that, and it was a little bit sickly. But that was my fault. But yeah, and the ones at Rotherham actually smelt amazing as well. But you were marching off. And I didn't have any money with me that day, so I couldn't have one.
No.
He was off film,
that set you off on a real good day,
I
didn't it?
I dropped a heavy hint. I'm like, they smell really nice. And you were like, yeah.
It's no wonder she had a bad day when I filmed.
I was hungry.
I didn't leave you any money. Oh, no. The Weatherspoons pub on Lytham Road used to be good. Plenty of Blackpool Sea photos in there. Yeah, Matthews and Morty Days. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a few
The Lindale Cafe is Dale Street. Yes, of course, it's Dale Street. Yes, of course it is. Ryan, thank you very much.
David says he's looking forward to the quiz on Tuesday at 7. Yeah, of course. We'll look forward
Yes,
to having you back there.
yes,
David.
we'll see you back here for Tuesday night if you can make it. 7 o'clock. We just want to ask as well. It's one of those things we're asking because quite a few people turn up a little bit late to it. Is 7 o'clock too early? Would you prefer it to be a little bit later, or is 7 o'clock all right? Or we're thinking maybe 7:30 or even 8 o'clock for those that I know Dor is always working, so he can't make the quiz. I know you can catch it on after, but it's better if you kind of play it live. So
don't say 9 o'clock because I'll be in my pajamas.
Yeah, but if you kind of let us know in the comments, if you can't comment now, just let us know about what sort of time is best for you for the quiz, because I'm not quite sure if we're just a little bit early for people getting in from work. That was just one of those things. So we'd like to know that. But thank you very much for your company. As always, we've loved chatting with you.
A lovely comment from Smithy. Thank you, Lee and Jane. You're a wonderful couple. Great live stream. Keep safe. And to all the geezers, football family. Oh, that's really nice.
Thank you, Smithy. It's been a pleasure having you with us again. It's so nice. Honestly, it is starting to feel like a little family here. We're getting to know people, and it's wonderful. And yeah, it's been really good, and it does keep us amused, and hopefully it just keeps you amused while we've obviously got no football on.
Nick says he loves the smell of burger van onions frying and the smell in the ground after the pitch has been cut. Oh yeah.
7 is okay for Ryan. That's okay. So we'll keep it at 7 unless a lot of people would like it a little bit later, because I know this week we had quite a few turning up late, and we'd already started. So that's a shame. But anyway. Thank you very much. 7 okay is for Nick. Okay. Great. Thank you very much, everyone, as always. Thanks, Tony, for staying up till it's nearly 2 o'clock in the morning for you. So good night, Tony. Have a nice sleep, and lovely to have you with us. Thank you very much, everyone. We're going to sort of go and leave you. So
and check out the Away Days video if you haven't watched it already, and find out who my bottom 3 are. And we'll see you back here on Tuesday at 7 for the quiz.
So we're going to do a big smile for our thumbnail. Bye. Bye. Are you looking at? Oh, quickly, hang on. See you on Tuesday night. 7 is fine, but perhaps 7:30 might be better for some. Yeah, we're thinking maybe 7:30 might be a better start time, so we may go for that.
I was just thinking EastEnders is 7:30 if people watch that. That's all. But I suppose we go over 7:30 anyway, don't we? So
we haven't been looking on eBay for Blackpool bargains at the moment.
Oh, but there are a lot of sales on at the electrical stores, and John Lewis and everything. Next are all having lots of up to 70% off. I think some of them, so that's worth. If you've got any money to spend, it's worth having a look for some before the shops open again. So, right, anyway, bye guys.
Bye everyone. Bye. See you around the world, says David Scholes. Yes, okay. Thank you very much, and see you all Tuesday or same time next week, 3 o'clock. Lee Charles TV at 3. Bye.